I ain't got it. I've been scheming, looting, hide your body. As long as you dreaming about me, ain't no problem. I don't got nobody just with you right now. But the truth, I look better under you. I can't lose when I'm with you.
What's up, you guys? My name is Ariana and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's video is sponsored by Amazing Beauty Hair, and they sent me over 4 bundles of their 18-inch kinky curly tape-in extensions. And as you guys already saw from the thumbnail, y'all, this looks so much like my natural hair, it's insane. So let's hop right into it. First things first, I always like to start off by cleansing the hair. So because these are curly tape-in extensions, 2 things. Number 1, you need to try your best to not get the actual tape part of the tape-in extensions wet, because it can kind of hinder you installing the tapes. They won't stick, but behind the scenes, I did replace all of these tapes with the replacement tape that I showed you guys in the unboxing. That's just what I like to do for now. I'm still relatively new to tape-ins. I've probably done maybe 5 or 6 installs, a few on myself as well as a few on my clients. Now, as far as what I'm doing to cleanse the hair, now onto the curly part of the hair, I like to condition first, wet it, make sure it's pliable, all of that good stuff. Then I rinse it, and then the blue stuff y'all saw in the bottle is nothing more than Dawn dish soap. I like to do that because to me that's the equivalent of a clarifying shampoo, but in my opinion, I think the Dawn dish detergent clarifies the hair a little bit better than like clarifying shampoo. Obviously, dish detergent is not made for hair, but honestly, it's never hurt a fly. So, you know, do it if y'all want to. So after cleansing the hair, I use the dish detergent twice, and then the last thing I followed up with is the Design Essentials Moisturizing Silk Press Shampoo. And then right here, I'm using the Design Essentials Silk Press Conditioner that goes along with it, just to get the hair back moisturized and all that, because the dish soap definitely strips the hair, and you don't want to have a tangled mess, because curly hair and tangles is very difficult to deal with. Also, I'm using my unbrush. If you guys have seen it on TikTok and you still don't have it and you're natural, babes, what are you doing? Get it now. On to installing the tape-ins. When I tell y'all I was scrambling trying to film this video, right here it's definitely nighttime. It took me almost a week to install these, not because the hairstyle in and of itself is complicated. Your girl just be so booked and busy with clients that my own head be looking a mess most days. So I had to kind of squeeze things in, so I was able to finish the back half of my head on this day of filming, which let's just say this was a Monday, right? I didn't get the opportunity to install the front half of my tape-ins on my head until maybe like 4, maybe 5 days after I installed the hair on the back. So the important thing about installing tape-ins as well, your natural hair has to be cleansed and oil-free. If it's not oil-free, it's not gonna stick. So I know y'all are probably like, well, my hair is gonna tangle up. Yeah, it definitely is, but in hindsight, even looking at my own footage, I probably should have blown out all of my hair first with absolutely no product on it. I would have washed it with the same dish soap that I showed y'all, blew it out. Now this is gonna sound crazy. No heat protectant, no serum, literally nothing. You want the hair to be, in my opinion, free from product. That way you can get the best grip on the tapes possible. That way your install will last, you know, the 6 to 8 weeks like tape-ins are supposed to. So then once you're done installing the tapes, that's when you can go in and moisturize the rest of your hair. But again, be very careful with having like natural hair as well as like kinky curly tape-ins, because oil and slip products and moisturizing products will absolutely not allow the tapes to stick. And you guys are gonna see that here, because now me in the orange shirt is like 5 days into the future from when I did the back. And you know, I was being a little hard-headed, probably sleep deprived, probably not using my brain. But I thought, you know what? I don't even have to wash my hair. I'm just gonna go in and moisturize the ends of my hair, add on my Design Essentials leave-in conditioner. I don't know what I was thinking. I really thought these tapes was gonna stick in my head, and y'all about to see, baby, live in real time. It's not gonna stick. It's really not. In my defense, the only reason why I decided to add product was because, again, my hair has been product free for almost a week because I was trying to find the time to install the rest of these tapes. But I was just so tired from doing hair literally day after day after day, no breaks in between, multiple clients a day, and braiding at that. So your girl was tired. But that plus the fact that I was going to the gym as well throughout this week, I'm guessing my scalp produced oils because I didn't put any product on my hair up until what y'all see now. So even I was a little bit confused as to why it didn't stick, but it's just I gave my hair enough time to build up oils. I'm guessing, I don't know, but I wasn't disappointed because, you know, it's a lesson. I'm glad that I learned because moving forward, baby, when I'm installing curly tape-ins on natural hair, natural hair is going to be blown out first. And I'm not putting any product on it, and I'm going to wash the hair with dish soap. Just being honest. Now, I am licensed, so I don't really know if that's like the smartest way of going about it. Like, I have my cosmetology license. I know dish soap is not used on natural hair. It's not supposed to be, but it works. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So yeah, y'all are absolutely about to learn how to not install tape-ins, as well as in the next clip, I'm going to show you guys actually how to properly install them. No, I didn't plan it like this. This is just my life. Y'all, I be so busy. That's also why I've been gone from YouTube for probably like a month now, and I hate the fact that it's very difficult for me to be consistent. It's just, girl, I be behind the chair for like 10 hours a day. I be tired. And I am prioritizing the gym right now over just being consistent on YouTube. Now, it's hard to keep up with everything that I want to do, to be real with y'all, but I have to go to the gym because that's my stress reliever. But yeah, so look at my natural hair, the quadrant that I just blew out. All I did was wash my hair with Dawn dish soap. I didn't put any product on it. I didn't even condition my hair at the sink either, by the way. This is real deal, just freshly cleansed. I do believe I have the blow dryer on medium. I like to blow dry my hair to like 90% dry on medium, and then the last 10% for dryness I will, use the heat setting, the highest like hot setting or whatever. Don't mind me, I just randomly decided to give myself a trim. I'm still trying to grow out my hair that was previously bleached. So I bleached it and then I put like black hair dye over it. So I've just been consistently using the, Adore jet black hair dye periodically just to make my natural hair look the same color. But yeah, I'm never bleaching my hair again. Never again. Because my natural hair been stuck at the same length since 2021 and I'm heated about it. If y'all want me to do a video on how I trim my ends at home, please comment that down below because I know a lot of girlies either don't want to pay for cosmetologist services or salon services, or you just don't trust nobody in your head. So just let me know if y'all want me to do that for y'all because I would happily help. So now we are finally on to how to properly install tape-ins. Ariana's version, by the way. So you want to part out a diagonal section of hair, as you guys see, and then you want to place the tapes, I would say maybe a quarter to half an inch away from the scalp. Here's the reason why. If you put the tape-ins directly on your scalp, like directly on the part line, it's going to be difficult to flip the hair or flip the tapes over for like you to do a ponytail or to wear it down. It's going to hurt. Tape-ins are not supposed to hurt. So if you feel that it's like too tight or too close to your root, then you're kind of messed up. And that was something else I messed up on too. I was putting them too close to my scalp whenever I was on the back because it was very difficult to film that and it was very difficult to see. So that's why y'all didn't see the footage of me putting it on the back of my head. But yeah, right here, you see how I'm like lining it up really close to my part, but then I slide it back just a hair. That way it doesn't hurt, and that way the tape-in part of the tape-in extensions is not sitting directly on my scalp. That way I can easily flip the tapes frontwards and backwards. That's how it's supposed to be. Once you have the first tape placed in the right position, then you want to flip the tape over, and you're supposed to part the line out clean, but again, I'm still learning, so obviously on this one, you didn't see me cleanly part the back side of the tape-ins, if that makes sense, before placing them to like sandwich my hair in between the two tapes. When I was on the back of my head, I was parting it out whenever it was time to like sandwich the hair together, but I messed up because I didn't leave enough of my natural hair sandwiched in between the tapes. So then it feels like one or two strands of hair is being pulled. So you don't want that either. So you have to make sure that you leave enough of your natural hair sandwiched in between the tape-ins. And you have to make sure that it's not too close to the root. And you have to make sure that it is diagonally placed on your hair, as you guys see. So because I did a middle part, I wanted the hair to kind of fall forward into my face just slightly, but I also wanted to be able to pull it back up into a high puff. So you have to keep in mind the placement of your tapes as well as like the position. Like it needs to be diagonal. I don't know if y'all do like color theory or coloring wigs or whatever, but the same way if you're doing balayage or like weaving on somebody's hair, it needs to be like diagonally placed. It's the same concept, just a different hair service. Now, pay close attention to the footage. I just flipped over the first tape and now I'm trying to place the second tape on top by sandwiching it. But as you guys see, I'm trying to make the part a lot cleaner. But again, when you make it clean, a trick that I do, I find where the tape-in is actually sitting on my scalp, and I just run the comb right across the top of that tape-in extension. That way the part is clean. But again, please, please, please make sure that you leave enough of your natural hair in between the sandwich, because you're going to be so upset with yourself because it's going to hurt. And nobody likes to have like one or two strands being pulled. Like, baby, that is not comfortable. Because just imagine how painful it's going to be when you try to either define your curls, or if you have like body wave tape-ins and you're trying to curl your hair or flat iron your hair, all of that tension on those 2 or 3 little strands is going to snap your hair off. And it's going to be painful. And guess what? Depending on the strength of the tapes that you're using, baby, them tape-ins don't come off just easily unless you have the remover to go with it. It ain't no walk in the park. So you're just going to be stuck with your hair being pulled, to be real with you, unless you know how to properly install them and remove them. So I will say, if you are not well versed in doing hair, this is honestly a service that I would pay a professional to do, because it's kind of easy to mess yourself up. You can potentially not place them in the right place. They will be visible, which they're not supposed to be visible, like when you pull your hair up or down. There's just so many things that can go wrong with this specific service. The other thing that I should have prefaced this section of the video with, you need to already determine what type of part you want, like the overall look that you want, before you start installing the tapes, for multiple reasons. So let's say you want to have a middle part, versatility or whatever. I don't know the right terminology, but basically you want to have a middle part, but you also want to be able to pull it up into a high ponytail, but also wear it down, right? You need to make sure that you leave enough of your natural hair out around the perimeter of your hair. That way, whenever you pull it up into a ponytail, none of your tapes will be exposed. But also, with doing the middle part, you need to make sure that you don't place the tapes too closely to where that line or that part is visible, because you're not supposed to see the tapes. Now, this does vary depending on the density of your hair. So for example, if you are a person with really dense hair, or you are a service provider and you're working with a client who has really dense hair, in my opinion, it's a little bit easier to install tape-ins because you don't have to work as hard to cover that band of the tape-in extensions. Now, on the flip side, if you have a client, or you as an individual have not necessarily thin hair, but just like, it's not dense, it's not like bald headed or nothing crazy like that, but it's just thinner hair, you have to make sure that you sandwich a little bit more of your natural hair in between the tape-in extensions. But you also may have to part, instead of like 1 inch from the perimeter of your head, you may have to part 1.5 inches to 2 inches away from the perimeter of your hairline. That way the tape-ins will be undetectable. So I think it's a little bit more difficult working with a less dense hair client, because it's almost like you can't even really put that many tapes in, because you have to place them further away from either the middle part or from the edges. So it's like you really only gonna have tapes in the middle, and then that kind of limits the versatility you could have. So like how I did mine, I did 4 quadrants on my head, so it's almost like a vixen sew-in, but my hair is thick, so I'm kind of able to get away with putting a lot of tapes in my head. But if my hair was thin, like down the middle part or whatever, you might end up seeing 1 or 2 tapes, and we ain't got time for that, because baby, you don't need to know that it's not on my hair. So yeah, there's a method to the madness, long story short. So book me if y'all want some tape-in extensions. Now we are on to styling. So if you are a natural girly, please pay very close attention. Not necessarily about how to define your curls with tape-in extensions, but just more so about the products that I'm using, as well as the technique that I'm using to define my curls. You guys can apply this to hair with extensions or just your natural hair. So I love using Design Essentials leave-in conditioner, the avocado whatever collection, the one y'all saw on the screen. But I also love to use their daily moisturizer, because my natural hair is, I would say, medium porosity now, because I bleached it, so it doesn't really retain moisture like that. But that leave-in conditioner, baby, it keep my hair moisturized. And if you're doing this just on your natural hair, make sure you top it with Blue Magic hair grease. Thank me later. Thank me later. Your hair is gonna be down your back. Because the hair grease seals in the moisture, almost the equivalent of putting on lotion and then putting on Vaseline on top. But to define my curls, I sprayed my section of hair with water. I applied the leave-in conditioner, as you guys saw, and then I applied some Nairobi mousse. I don't really know if the mousse is really making or breaking anything. I just wanted to try something different. But then you're gonna see me like brush out this section with the Denman brush, trying to define my curls, but it's like they weren't clumping together the way that I needed them to. So then I ended up topping it with the Got To Be Glued, the black gel, or the one in the black container, I should say, Jesus, can't talk. The gel itself is clear, but the container is black. So after defining my curls, you guys are gonna just see me like gently separate them, and I'm going to do this all over my head, so this part of the video is kind of repetitive and self-explanatory. So just again, pay attention to how I'm defining the curls with the Denman brush. But other than that, I'm just gonna let y'all vibe out to some music for a little bit. Y'all pay close attention. It's gonna be really aesthetically appealing, relaxing, and just kind of study my technique. That way you can properly define your natural hair curls too. Also, it helps to blend your natural hair with the kinky curly tape-ins. hopping back on for this little trick. So how I get my afro big and fluffy, I will go in with the concentrator on the blow dryer and just dry all of my hair until it is, I'll say 95 to 100% dry. And then once it's fully dry, then I will grab large sections of my hair while kind of just looking at my hair in the mirror to see what section needs to be stretched more versus, okay, I could leave this section alone. And I basically just like stretch my roots, and I will go in with the concentrator and stretch my roots out. So again, I dry my hair to 90% on medium heat. Yes, sometimes I get impatient and then I'll just turn the blow dryer on high to just dry all my hair because it takes forever. But you just have to kind of look at what you're doing, see how you want your afro to lay, touch certain curls, stretch certain curls, leave other curls away or alone. So usually like my hair on the nape of my neck or the bottom of my afro, I try to not stretch that too much because I don't want my fro to be necessarily elongated. I just want my fro to be big. So usually the hair that I will stretch the most is the hair at the crown of my head, because my hair in that section of my hair is a little bit more tightly curled. So I just stretch it a little bit so it can blend with the perimeter of my hair, because the perimeter of my hair is a looser texture, just a little bit. It's almost like in the center of my head, I'm like 4B, very coarse, and then around the perimeter, it's like 4A, but it's like a fine texture. So it's kind of tricky a little bit. But yeah, I just flip my hair in all different directions, pull different sections out, stretch them. That way my fro is super big. And these curls usually last me, I would say about 7 days without looking super crazy. So that's why I like this method, because I only have to style my hair once a week, and then just throughout the week I can just apply oil or BioSilk just to keep my hair a little bit, you know, protected from the elements and whatnot. This is probably day 2 or 3 hair. Now you guys can see a little bit of a differentiation from my natural hair in the crown versus the tape ends, but honestly it still looks super natural to where you probably can't notice. So yeah, like this video, subscribe if you're new, leave me a comment as well. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys watch all the rest of my content, and I will catch you guys in the next one.